Hello everyone, good day! I am Ma'am Rachel R. Fajardo. I will be your mathematics teacher for today. So in this video, we are going to focus on the nature of roots of quadratic equation, or also called as discriminant. I know that you are going to listen very carefully so that you can answer the activities in your module later. For our learning competency, we have characterizes the roots of a quadratic equation using the discriminant. For our objectives, at the end of this video lesson, you are expected to: the first one is to solve the discriminant of a quadratic equation, and the second one is to characterize the roots of a quadratic equation using the discriminant. So before we start with our new lesson, let us first review the following. Number 1. Blank include natural numbers or counting numbers, whole numbers, integers, rational numbers, and irrational numbers. The correct answer is real numbers. Okay, next, number 2. A and blank is the square root of a negative number and does not have a tangible value. It is a complex number that can be written as a real number multiplied by the imaginary unit I, which is defined by its property I squared equals -1. If your answer is imaginary number, you are correct. Number 3. Blank are numbers that can be expressed as a quotient A over B of two integers. The answer is rational numbers. Next, number 4. Blank are numbers that cannot be expressed as a quotient A over B of two integers. The answer is irrational numbers. And the last one, number 5. Blank is an integer that is the square of an integer. In other words, it is the product of some integer with itself. The answer is perfect square number. So let us have the following examples. For real numbers, we have the following examples. Next, for the imaginary numbers, we have the following examples. Okay, next. For rational numbers, we have the following. These are numbers that can be expressed as a fraction. And then for irrational numbers, these are numbers that cannot be expressed as a fraction. And the last, we have perfect square numbers. 16 because 4 times 4 equals 16. 64 because 8 times 8 is 64. And then 144 because 12 times 12 is equal to 144. So ngayon, ang topic natin ay nature of the roots of quadratic equation or discriminant. So what is discriminant? Discriminant is the value of the expression b squared minus 4ac in the quadratic equation ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. This value can be used to describe the nature of the roots of a quadratic equation. It can be 0, positive and perfect square, positive but not perfect square, or negative. So ito yung apat na nature ng roots ng quadratic equation. So una, if b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0, ang nature ng roots niya ay real numbers and equal. Next, if b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0 and a perfect square, ang nature ng roots niya ay rational numbers but not equal. If b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0 but not a perfect square, ang nature ng roots niya ay irrational numbers and not equal. Kapag naman less than 0 ang discriminant, it has no real roots. Okay, let us have example number 1. Describe the roots of x squared minus 6x plus 9 equals 0. So step 1, identify the values of A, B, and C. So based on the given, ang value ng A natin is 1. And then B is equal to negative 6. And then si C ay positive 9. Next, step 2, substitute the values of A, B, and C in the expression B squared minus 4AC. So palitan natin si B ng negative 6 minus 4, si A palitan ng 1, and then si C palitan ng 9. And then simplify. Negative 6 times negative 6 is equal to positive 36. Minus 4 times 1 is 4 times 9 is 36. So 36 minus 36 is equal to 0. So ito yung discriminant natin. So meaning, since the discriminant is 0, the nature of the roots of x squared minus 6x plus 9 equals 0 are real numbers and are equal. So ano ang ibig sabihin nito? Kapag daw sinolve natin yung roots ng x squared minus 6x plus 9 equals 0, ang makukuha nating sagot ay real numbers and equal. So tingnan natin kung tama. So to check, so determine the roots of x squared minus 6x plus 9 equals 0 using any of the methods. So let us use factoring. So the factors are x minus 3 and x minus 3. Equate to 0. So x minus 3 equals 0. And then x minus 3 equals 0. And then solve for the value of x. So x is equal to 3. And then another x is equal to 3. So based dito sa nakuha nating roots, so ang roots niya ay parehong 3. So which is real number and equal. Okay, example number 2. Determine the nature of the roots of 2x squared plus 5x plus 2 equals 0. So again, identify natin yung value ng A, B, and C. So based on the given, the value of A is 2. B is positive 5. And then si C ay positive 2. And then, substitute the values of A, B, and C to B squared minus 4AC. So, yung formula natin para sa discriminant. So, palitan natin si B ng 5. So, magiging 5 squared minus 4 times A is 2 and then si C ay 2. And then simplify. 5 times 5 is 25 minus 4 times 2 is 8 times 2 is 16. And then subtract 25 minus 16. The answer is 9. So, ang discriminant natin ay 9. So, since the discriminant is 9, so which is greater than 0 and a perfect square, so si 9 ay perfect square, then the nature of the roots are rational numbers but are not equal. Okay, so to check, so determine again the roots of 2x squared plus 5x plus 2 equals 0. So the factors are 2x plus 1 and then x plus 2. And then equate both factors to 0. So 2x plus 1 equals 0 and then x plus 2 equals 0. So magiging 2x is equal to negative 1 and then divide both sides by 2. So x is equal to negative 1 half and then x plus 2 equals 0 and then x is equal to negative 2. So ang nakuha nating roots ay negative 1 half and negative 2. So sila ay rational numbers but they are not equal. Okay, next, example number 3. Describe the roots of 5x squared minus 4x minus 2 equals 0. So, identify again the values of A, B, and C. So, A is 5, and then the value of B is negative 4, and then si C ay negative 2. And then, substitute the values of A, B, and C to B squared minus 4AC. So, palitan natin si B ng negative 4. Minus 4 times si A ay 5. And then si C ay negative 2. And then simplify. Negative 4 square, so that is positive 16. And then negative 4 times 5 is negative 20. Negative 20 times negative 2 is positive 40. And then add 16 plus 40, the answer is 56. So, ang discriminant natin ay 56. So, since the discriminant is greater than 0 but not a perfect square, so si 56 ay hindi siya perfect square. So, ang nature ng roots natin ay irrational numbers and are not equal. Okay, example number 4. Describe the roots of 6x squared plus 3x plus 2 equals 0. So again, the first step is to identify the values of A, B, and C. A is 6, and then si B ay positive 3, and then si C ay positive 2. And then, substitute the values of A, B, and C to B squared minus 4AC. So, ang value ng B natin ay 3. So, palitan si B ng 3. So, magiging 3 square minus 4. And then si A, palitan ng 6. And then si C, palitan ng 2. And then simplify. 3 square, the answer is 9. Minus 4 times 6, 24 times 2 is 48. So, 9 minus 48, the answer is negative 39. So, negative 39 is less than 0. So, since the discriminant is less than 0, then the equation 6x squared plus 3x plus 2 equals 0 has no real roots. Okay? So, again, pakitandaan yung apat na nature ng roots ng quadratic equation. If b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0, the nature of the roots, so we have real numbers and equal. And then, pangalawa, kapag naman greater than 0 and perfect square siya, so ang nature ng roots natin ay rational numbers but not equal. And then, pangatlo, kapag greater than 0 but not perfect square, so ang nature ng roots natin ay irrational numbers and not equal. Kapag naman less than 0 ang discriminant, it has no real roots. So just a reminder, for you to accomplish the what's more part of your module, you need to watch the second part of this video lesson for Module 2. The next video lesson is entitled The Sum and Product of the Roots of Quadratic Equation. Thank you!